Hi, I'm Master Builder Alec, and I build lots of Lego models. Lego models like giraffes, and coffee pots, and spaceships made mostly out of goats. But honestly, the best stuff that I make is usually inspired by a model that a kid designed, just like Vincent Weidman here.
I'm a masterpiece.
Exactly. Or sometimes a lovely drawing can inspire a lovely Lego model. Or a baffling drawing can lead to the greatest thing I've ever made. Bloob. Today I've got a whole bunch of letters and drawings that were sent to my Lego mailbox by a bunch of kids from around the country and world. We're gonna see if we can find some cool inspiration in here. First letter. Sorry, I don't know why I hit you. Something came over me. We have a message. Dear Master Alec, I love watching your amazing videos. They are the best, and Big Gorilla is my favorite Lego creation you made, from Olive. Thank you, Olive. I like Big Gorilla too. And you've drawn a wonderful dinosaur. Not just a dinosaur, but a dinosaur in a top hat that is only slightly floating above its head, which I love. Also some bold color choices that make it very easy to translate into Lego bricks. So thank you for that, Olive. Let's build your dinosaur. I described the body of this dinosaur as almost peanut shaped. So we're gonna have to use a lot of these types of bricks to get that shaping, and these are called
bowed elements.
And for these, I almost like to think of them as sides of a circle. And I know technically circles don't have sides, but the point is we can link them with a couple of snot bricks to make a more or less rounded shape. And if this dinosaur is anything, it's more or less rounded. So that's the start of our head, but we need to make sure we include the smiley face. And that means building in connection points. We're gonna put some pins in there to give us studs to attach some little eyes. Unfortunately, these pins don't have tension, so they kind of flop around. And there are bricks here we could use that would make more sense and kind of solve this problem, but I just don't have those pieces in blue. I know it seems like I have every single brick ever made, but this is a fraction of the number of bricks that are out there. So that's why we have to find creative workarounds, like using these less than ideal pieces. We'll fix that later. Another connection point for our smiley face. And these eyes are immediately bothering me, so let's fix them now. By taking some of these little bars and popping them in the back of our pins as far as they'll go, which actually lets us turn these into crazy eyes that move on their own, but we don't want that. We want them not to move. So we're gonna add tension to these by using this little plate with holes in it to cover, oops. Just gonna put those back in and hold them in place this time to cover them up with a little plate, which now introduces tension into it so the eyes cannot flop on their own, even when we shake it really hard. Now we're actually gonna remove one of the sides of our face to start building the neck, which we can do by stacking up a whole bunch of these little sloped bricks. And by a whole bunch, I mean 4. Pop that on the side. You can see the angle kind of changes here. So we'll switch to a differently angled piece to replicate that. And now we'll use some different curves and attach them here to kind of swoop around and create a sort of dino booty, if you will. Fill out the body, add a little belly, take this off, fill out the body some more, this time using the inverted slopes on the underside. Head on, anchor it in place with a little bracket, and then round it out to make our dinosaur peanut body. This guy kind of looks like Bloob's friendlier cousin.
Why didn't you come to my wedding? Oh.
Weird family dynamics aside, we need to start adding these horns, the hat, the tail, but we have no connection points on the side. What will we do? There's no solution. Just kidding, there's always a solution. This model is being built kind of two-dimensionally to match the picture as much as possible, but we have a whole nother dimension to work with. So we're actually gonna remove the very top of this head and take out this little plate we put in earlier in favor of a 2x2 plate, which is gonna give us some studs that are kind of hidden behind the top of the head. When we look at this model face on, like the drawing, we don't see them, but they're there, hiding in the third dimension. And now we can use a bunch of rods and clips to make this wiggly chain, which will kind of sit on those 2 studs, and we can shape it to follow the path of the body. And we can actually add 2x2 plates onto every one of these so that we have studs that perfectly sit on the back of this dinosaur. And that's where we can put all the spikes. Perfect. This little path also doubles as giving us a connection point for the tail, which we make in 3 sections that snap together, and in the same way we did the spikes, they kind of fold together to mimic that shape. Whoopah! Tail. Looking good, but without legs, this is just a weird worm. So we'll copy the little 3D trick we did up here, but on the bottom, add some extra plates, and the legs aren't anything more than a couple of bricks stacked up with a tile on the end, placed in such a way that they are all even on the bottom. And just like that, we've gone from weird worm to super mobile dinosaur. But there's something missing, some pizzazz, some necessary element that will let this dinosaur get into a fancy party if it wants to. A top hat. Now I notice there's a slight angle on the left side, so of course we need to do our best to incorporate that detail by using a sloped brick paired with a couple of regular bricks and plates. It does need to be slightly floating above the dinosaur's head, which is easy to achieve with a clear brick. Pop that on the back, and it's beautiful. A little side by side between the two. I think it came out looking pretty accurate to the drawing, which is a fantastic piece of inspiration from Olive. A wonderful first entry into our mailbox masterpiece gallery, which is for the time being, just kind of on the counter here. Not think of where I was gonna put all of these. Whatever, let's open another one. Letter 2. Again, I'm sorry, something just grips my mind and it takes over my body. Probably blue. This one says, hello, I love your videos. Can you make my drawing? I have my own YouTube channel called Winter Fox. I'll check it out. And it's a bird. It is a bird. It's such a statement of fact, it just tickles me. This one is, let's see, this one is from Micah. Also, I would like to point out that Micah's bird also has a little hat. I don't know what it is about you guys and adding little hats to your creatures, but I'm 100% here for it, and I fully support this. I will also say that Micah has done some lovely shading of colors on the bird, like there's yellow incorporated with the purple here, and that just means that we're gonna have to approach this with a different design mentality. That is to say, we're gonna do our best to capture the vibe of this bird instead of maybe the specific shaping of it like we did on our last build. All right, Micah, let's build your bird. It's a bird, and the body of our bird is this lovely green, which gives us an opportunity to use my favorite color, toothpaste. Let's start up at the face with a little black circle on a snot brick for the eye, 2 of those onto a platform, with a slope on the back to start getting that shaping, and a curve on the front under which we can put some snot bricks and a little cone to be the beak. Again, we're almost perfectly in scale with the drawing. Now our hat is, it's a bird. Our hat is a little bit rounded on this one, which I think technically makes it a bowler hat, though I'm not 100% sure. So if you're an Englishman from the 1890s, let me know in the comments if I got that right or not. A line of slopes will get the back of the bird, and then some snot bricks up front will let us build this belly using some more
bowed bricks
attached on front. We're actually gonna add some more to really anchor those in place, and whenever we're stacking snot bricks like this, we wanna separate them by 2 plates. That's what lets us connect them across multiple layers. I also just stuck a snot brick here because that's where we'll put the wing on. That's a figure it out later problem. Some more bows on the bottom, and that's the basis of our bird. I think a lot of the color can come in on the wings. This model also accidentally has a play feature. It can drink water. It's a bird. So making the wing, I usually do in a honestly pretty haphazard way where we just kind of connect plates until we have the vague shape of a wing that can attach. And then you just kind of add plates in various spots to round it out and make it look more wing-like. That's kind of wing-like. But then we can start adding details like more bowed bricks or these little corner cut dots pieces to make it look more feathery. And here's where we can start adding on the color. Using whatever bricks we can, we want to kind of follow the shaping, using some interesting curves and doing our best to layer them to create the illusion of feathers sitting on top of one another. I think that looks pretty good. So then we copy it, but make it opposite so that we have one for the other side. And now we just have to make a branch with a few extra little twigs poking out for our bird to sit on. It's a bird. Wait, there we go. It's a bird. Absolutely fantastic drawing from Micah. It is in fact a bird, and it's going in our gallery, which again is just the counter. Figure something out eventually. Let's do one more. And I didn't hit you with the envelope this time. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Anyway, we got a big a big, amazing drawing of Brolyop. This one was drawn by Jack. There's no message attached to it, but I think the message is clear enough. Don't mess with Brolyop. It's got a lollipop body, licorice arms, jawbreaker fists, and candy cane fingers. Charlie Brolyop. It's got a theme song now. I love Brolyop. I also fear Brolyop, but that's neither here nor there. Let's build them out of Lego bricks. I think we have the perfect piece to start the head, and that's these little corner domes in lime green. We can put 4 of these along with these curves that match onto a large circular-ish plate to make the dome. We've unfortunately removed all the studs to add eyes, so let's go ahead and take 2 of these off of here, just like that. Snot brick and a plate. And I've got a lot of different eyes, but I don't have these angry ones, so we have to build them. So onto a circle, we'll put 2 little half circles in green for the eyelid, and then a black and a white one down here to make an angry eye. Make another one, put them on the plate, and make him angry. We'll fill the little hole we left in his head so the rain can't get in, and then start on the mouth by adding some plates down here with some snot bricks all around. And we want this part to curve all around the head. So we're gonna put a plate here with a hinge on either side, and that's gonna give us an angle at the corners, and then fill in the middle with a brick. And you can see there's a little gap here. A way that I really like to fill those is to use these plates that have a little half plate coming off of them because it effectively just kind of covers them up. For this side, we're just gonna put a brick here, and we're actually gonna add some studs, you'll see why later, and then copy that all the way around until it starts to look like a green hamburger. I'm terribly sorry. Against our better judgment, we will give it teeth using these little curved tiles. Some on the bottom, some on the top. Vicious. We built another dome for the bottom of Brolypop's head, but that means changing directions, which is why we added these studs here. We can also take 2 of these circles and stack them, add a little Technic pin in the center, and then put another one of those going the opposite direction. Now we have a little double-studded, double-sided stud, little double thing that can go in the middle. And that serves to really just bolster our connection point for when we add this right here. He's so mad. The body's a stick, so we build a stick. The arms are licorice and they're very curved. So we're gonna use a whole bunch of clips and rod pieces kind of connected like this to give it a flexible arm. But I did just notice that there's some black lines here, and there's a couple of spots where we can maybe add a little black stud if we sneak this one right on there. Will it still fit? Oh, it will. That looks great. Details. Pop that on the arm, and now we have to make jawbreaker fists with candy corn fingers. Terrifying. Let's take a little pink circle, add some little bars that are all kind of facing in the same direction. The fact that the backs are circles let us position these real nicely. We'll stack up yellow, orange, and white to be a little candy corn finger. Make 2 more, and then pop those right onto the front. I don't have little cones, but I gave them cheese wedges to be vicious claws. I'm not often scared by what I create, but I do think I'm gonna have a hard time sleeping tonight. I'm really afraid of Brolypop maybe following me home.
Nah, dude, don't worry about it. We're cool.
Oh, all right. Build another arm on this side, and I think he's done. I really love the way this one came out, but it's really fully just on the strength of the drawing itself. Jack, this is a fantastic character you've created. Most candy will eventually make you lose teeth, but that's usually over an extended period of time. From the very first lick of Brolypop, I think he'll knock a few of those out of there with his fists, like he's gonna punch you. Brolypop! Into the gallery you go. If you have a drawing or idea that you want to see me try to build out of Lego bricks, you can send a letter to this address. I'm gonna be honest, I might not be able to build them all on camera, but I will read all of them, and I really appreciate all the kind words that you guys send in. And if you've been watching my channel a while, you know I don't do a lot of these long videos, so let me know what you think. Did you like this? Do you want more detail? More special effects? I don't know. Bye!